you very much for that, Chris. Our next speaker is also an important activist in one of the largest and most potentially powerful unions in the UK. Suzanne Muna is a housing worker and is an elected member of the National Executive Committee of Unite. She is a Socialist Party member and has used her position on the Unite NEC to campaign for the union to take a fighting stand on all the industrial issues facing its members, and crucially, to raise the crucial question of political representation for working class people. So please welcome Suzanne. Thank you.
Comrades, thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. It's certainly a great privilege to be here. I was elected to the Unite Executive Council for the London and Eastern Territorial seat in January. Unite is the biggest union in the UK with 1.5 million members, 300,000 of them in the London and Eastern region. Of the 64 members of the Executive Council, currently I'm the only Socialist Party member. I'm hoping that this will change in the forthcoming elections, hopefully not by me being thrown off, but because other Socialist comrades get on there too. Being a Socialist Party member active on various committees in the union means that you sometimes find yourself in a minority of one, and that's not always easy. But at the same time, there is a pressing need for socialist ideas and principles to be aired. Even in Unite, where important steps forward have been taken, the left still needs to be strengthened by militant workers and shop stewards and by a fighting industrial and political programme. This is the best way to keep up the pressure on the union leadership and to defeat the right wing who are again raising their heads. The Socialist comrades in Unite, as elsewhere, approach everything from the same first principles, whether it's grassroots activity or interventions in the many layers of the union machine. The principles in this context are disciplined member engagement so that we both influence and reflect the actual mood of members, maximum and true empowerment through the constant involvement of our members in decisions, full democratic accountability, not the fake version whereby members can self-determine, but only if it fits with the union establishment's agenda. An action steered by a broad political understanding, not driven by the fragmented and divisive narrative of the tabloid press. It is a totally different relationship between officers, elected officials and the membership than the servicing model which dominates trade unionism in Britain. To give a simple but practical example, when we went into a pay dispute at my workplace, as well as balloting the members, we got the members together to design the pay campaign. The campaign helped us win the propaganda war and the dispute, despite being the minority union and the only one on strike, and massively raised the profile of Unite. I'm lucky to be in a multi-employer branch where 4 of the branch committee are Socialist Party members. As a result of our methods, 4 of our workplaces have had successful strike action. 2 have won disputes on the basis of strike threats alone. We've published a housing manifesto and built bridges with community campaigners. We initiated a campaign for a sector-wide agreement on pay and conditions. We are proactive in training reps who between them cover around 2,500 members. We meet them in their own workplaces and place high expectations on them. Our developing profile as a militant branch serves as a threat to employers across the sector, with managers moderating their plans for fear of our retaliation. Of course, it's not without its setbacks. We don't win every battle, and we struggle against the sector's structure and the constant turnover and burnout of reps. But without the intensive frontline activity, we wouldn't carry the same level of authority or integrity as we do currently with our members and when we intervene in union committees, conferences and on the executive. While Unite is not the hostile regime some comrades face, it is also not above using undemocratic tactics and manoeuvres when it suits. Recently on the executive, for example, Unite's motions to the TUC were hurried through without real democratic input from council members, and we ended up with a weaker response to the trade union bill when Unite should have been leading the fight. But even as a small force, our interventions as socialists can sometimes produce results. By putting forward a branch motion for disaffiliation to the July Rules Conference, and by backing this up with arguing and voting against a blank cheque for Labour at the Unite Executive, It was possible to push McCluskey into warning that the union must do everything it could to get Corbyn on the ballot paper, or there was a serious danger that we would get what we wanted in the disaffiliation vote. He was right. The danger was real because we were the ones reflecting the actual mood of members on the ground. It's an example of a strategy that was followed through at every level of the union. And although we didn't get disaffiliation, it did bear a different kind of fruit because without it, the push for Corbyn from an influential union would not have been so powerful. Comrades, if you're in a trade union, I would say that although it can sometimes feel like you are a lone voice, one voice is sometimes enough. I hope in the coming elections we will see more members of the Socialist Party active at the grassroots and on the executives of our unions. Our power is in the combination of our ideas and our methods. You'll be supported by comrades in other sections of your union, in other unions, and by the unceasing efforts of our party's industrial department. So please, join us, join the party, join the union, and get organising. Thank you.